Welcome to the basics of systems thinking. Every system has three ingredients. Elements, it's how they work together that matters. Change one and you change it all. A pile of parts is not a system. It's how they are arranged that matters. Arrangement creates transportation. That is the power of linear thinking suggests a direct line from cause to effect. But systems are far more complex. Every element influences the whole. So which one are you using? Look at the first tier. These are the events we see. Below that are the patterns. They reveal deeper structure. This shapes our mental model. This completes the ladder. It explains this diagram a reinforcing loop. Here, an initial change starts to grow. It amplifies and circles back. This leads to exponential growth. That is how it works. Now let's draw a balancing loop. A thermostat keeps it stable. It corrects any change. This brings the room back to goals. That's how balance is maintained. Look at this timeline here. We apply an intervention, but a delay occurs. Consequences appear. These are often unintended. We find specific nodes with an exponential number of links. The entire network is at risk. Today we will discuss leverage points. Low leverage points cause little change. High leverage points are where we focus. They lead to impactful system intervention. Think of an organization as a living garden, where every single element affects the whole system. Like notes in a complex musical score, everything must work together in perfect harmony. Now, watch this next video for more on systems thinking.
Imagine walking into a room and seeing someone carefully coating a dry, dying houseplant leaf with bright green paint. You would probably laugh. It is an absurd thing to do. You know immediately that the pale color of the leaf isn't the actual problem. The color is merely a visible symptom telling you something deeper is wrong with the plant. We can easily spot the absurdity of painting a dying leaf. Yet, when we step away from the garden and deal with the rest of our lives, we do the exact same thing every day. When a company's revenue drops, leadership might fire the newest salesperson. When we feel completely exhausted, we drink a fifth coffee to force our eyes open. We are treating the symptom, and because the underlying issue remains completely untouched, we end up stuck in a frustrating cycle where the exact same problem keeps coming back. This habit of treating the symptom comes from how we are taught to solve problems. We usually rely on linear thinking, the idea that one direct cause leads to one direct effect. If a phone battery dies, the screen shuts off. For simple mechanical problems, this approach works perfectly. But the most important challenges in our lives, our businesses, and our society are not simple. They involve dozens of moving parts that are constantly adapting and pushing against one another. As these scattered parts snap together, they form a system. They are organized to do something specific together. The final outcome is created by the relationships, rules, and flows of information running between those pieces. If we want to solve stubborn, recurring problems, we have to let go of linear thinking. We have to stop staring at the individual broken pieces and start examining the whole. Let's go back to our houseplant to see how deep a system actually goes. That yellow leaf we started with is an event, a single visible signal that grabs our attention because it's happening right now. To understand the system, we have to step down a level and look for patterns. We ask, has this happened before? If we pay attention, we might realize this specific plant droops and loses its leaves every single winter. This three-tier diagram reveals the next level down, structures. Structures are the physical realities that actually produce the pattern over time. Down here, below the surface, we find roots bound tightly in a small pot, sitting in a cold room. At the very bottom of this hierarchy are our mental models, our deeply held beliefs. If the gardener believes that more water is always better, that assumption preserves the bad structure. Most of our daily arguments stay trapped up at the shallow event level. We argue about the leaf, but lasting solutions are only found by digging down to the underlying structure. That structural level is driven by interconnections. Every single part relies on another part. The roots depend on the soil relies on the water, and the water relies entirely on the habits of the gardener. Because of these connections, systems often feature hidden delays. A delay is a long gap in time between when an action is taken and when the consequence finally becomes visible. Our gardener heavily overwaters the soil on Monday, but because of the delay in the system, the leaf doesn't actually turn yellow until Friday. This time gap is exactly why we misdiagnose our problems. When a failure happens, we tend to blame whatever immediate event occurred right before it, completely missing the true root cause that was set in motion days or months ago. Systems constantly surprise us because they rarely react instantly. They punish impatient, knee-jerk reactions, and they reward disciplined, long-term observation. Our businesses, families, and cities follow these same patterns, working exactly like that plant's root system. If a company suffers from a toxic culture, simply firing one poorly behaved employee is the exact equivalent of cutting off a single yellow leaf. Look at this organizational chart. As the rigid lines dissolve, you can see the real structure of a human group. It isn't made of soil and roots. It is made of invisible rules, financial incentives, and communication patterns. Watch what happens when we drop a new person into this old environment. If the underlying rules and incentives stay the same, the system will eventually teach the new arrival to reproduce the exact same bad behavior. To change how a group behaves, we have to look past the individuals and redesign the deeper connections and rules that govern them. Systems thinking requires a lot of humility. It asks us to admit that we rarely understand a situation as well as we think we do. And it reminds us we are often active participants in the very systems we complain about. The next time you face a stubborn, recurring problem in your life or your work, put away the green paint. Take a step back and look at the entire greenhouse. Stop asking, who is to blame for this event? And start asking, what invisible connections and structures are actually generating this outcome? When we stop fighting isolated symptoms, we finally begin to see and fix the underlying machinery of reality.